What is a panic attack? An anxiety or a panic attack is a sudden surge of overwhelming fear, usually accompanied by distressing physical symptoms that comes without warning and often without any obvious reason. It is far more intense than the feeling of being stressed out that most people experience. Symptoms of an anxiety or panic attack include pounding heartbeat, trembling, sweating, shaking, difficulty breathing, terror that is almost paralysing, dizziness, lightheadedness, churning stomach, acidity, indigestion, diarrhoea, choking, chest pains, hot flashes or sudden chills, tingling in the fingers or toes, pins and needles, fear that you're going to lose control, go crazy, or even are about to die. What is panic disorder? Many people experience occasional panic attacks, and if you have only one or two such attacks over a long period of time, there probably isn't any reason to worry. The key symptom of panic disorder is the persistent fear of having future panic attacks. If you suffer from repeated panic attacks, or if you have had a panic attack and are in continued fear of having another, and notice a change in your behaviour because of the attacks, these are signs that you should consider seeking professional help, such as cognitive therapy. Why do anxiety and panic attacks keep recurring? An anxiety or panic attack on its own is not actually dangerous or life-threatening, but it can be terrifying. As mentioned before, panic disorder is the persistent fear of repeated attacks, and ironically, this fear of future attacks is the main reason why future attacks occur. This is called the cycle of fear. The reason we feel so much fear in the first place is that the symptoms of a panic attack often make us think that something is seriously wrong with us, that we are having a heart attack, or that we're going to lose control or collapse, etc. Understandably, we react to such thoughts with intense fear and our symptoms increase. To begin with, we may not be able to do much to prevent panicky feelings arising, but what CBT can do is teach you tried and tested cognitive and behavioural techniques that enable you to limit any overreaction to the feelings. This then helps us feel less fearful during an attack and less worried about a recurrence of the attack. Less fear means less panic, means less symptoms. As time goes on, and when you lose your fear of panic, it stops happening. How does cognitive behavioural therapy help with anxiety, panic attacks, and agoraphobia? Cognitive behavioural therapy is a short-term therapy and is based on the idea that your thoughts and behaviours affect how you feel. The main reason that panic attacks persist is due to the fact that we misinterpret perfectly harmless but frightening symptoms of anxiety. Cognitive behavioural therapy is one of the most effective treatments available, with a success rate of between 75 to 90%. People who have undergone CBT are also far less likely to rely on medication. The main program is divided into 4 steps. Step 1. Knowledge. This step is incredibly important when it comes to anxiety and panic because it is a lack of understanding that gets us caught up in the fear cycles in the first place. You will realise how this happens when you take the first step. There is so much information online about panic and anxiety. It may seem that we are well informed, but information on its own is not enough. It has to be explained very carefully, and the connection between the information and your exact experience made clear so that your brain receives the aha moment that will start the recovery process. This step is quite simple, but don't let that fool you. If you understand anxiety and panic correctly, you will be halfway to recovery. It is that powerful. Step 2. Skills. At Cognitive Therapy Online, we aren't great believers in facing the fear and doing it anyway. We know that people with panic have been bravely facing the fear repeatedly, and yet the fear doesn't get any easier to bear. Thankfully, there is another way to deal with panic. Of course, you want to get your life back to normal, You want to do all the things you used to do, and you will. But first of all, we will teach you skills that will help you deal with any anxiety very quickly and effectively. These skills have been perfected over the last 50 years through the combined studies of CBT therapists around the world. The bottom line is, they work. Step 3. Practice. The third step is where CBT really towers above all other methods to combat anxiety. CBT is an active recovery program. We don't teach you ways to cope with anxiety or panic. We teach you how to be completely free of panic once and for all. We want you to get your life back. To do that, you want to feel certain that you can deal with anxiety. CBT teaches you tried and tested behavioural experiments that allow you to prove to yourself that your understanding and skills really work. Rather than throwing you in at the deep end, these experiments enable you to get your life back step by step in a controlled and gradual manner. You decide the pace, and CBT provides the methods and the motivation to keep you moving forwards. This step in the recovery process is why so many people recover using CBT. Step 4. Recovery. The final step is essential. CBT shows you how to stay recovered. We call it relapse prevention. There is no point learning a few techniques in the hope that you will feel less anxious and your panic will just go away. CBT teaches you to take charge. It empowers you to become your own therapist. Once you learn these skills, you will never forget them. None of us can guarantee a stress-free life. The strongest position you can reach is where you know for sure that you can deal with anxiety without any problem should it arise again. When you reach that point, you will know for certain that you simply can't get caught up in the cycles of fear to the same degree ever again. This is real and permanent recovery. CBT for panic was created by professional therapists, one of whom recovered from severe panic attacks through CBT before becoming a therapist himself. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the world's most effective treatment for panic attacks, anxiety, and agoraphobia. Most World Health Organizations recommend CBT for panic and a wide range of disorders. CBT is in such high demand, there are a long waiting lists for therapists. Studies show that online CBT with brief email support can be just as effective as face-to-face therapy. This is a thorough, detailed, effective, yet very concise and user-friendly program that uses tried and tested techniques which bring extremely fast and lasting results. The program has really taken care to appeal to people who may find it hard to concentrate. Each page is beautifully illustrated with humorous and very helpful cartoons. The text is kept to a minimal, but exactly the right amount is said. This has been very carefully planned. If you can't concentrate on reading, each book has also been made into a video book. There are an incredible 56 videos that walk you step by step through every single page, and it really feels like you are sitting with a therapist, and one who really understands what panic and anxiety is all about. The therapist talks to you from the left half of the screen, and the pages come up on the right half. It's a great way to take in the techniques. These are the very latest CB techniques that have been tried and tested worldwide. Studies show that CBT can treat panic and anxiety attacks in as little as 4 to 8 sessions, which is pretty amazing. Anyone who is going through the nightmare of anxiety and panic will immediately feel relief with this program. It is highly effective, yet warm and friendly. And more importantly, for anxiety sufferers, it doesn't trigger any anxiety. This program has really set the benchmark for online panic treatments. Visit the link below for more information.